Welcome to the Okiki Podcast, where we make inspirational people known. Brought to you by your host, Fian Obayan. You are listening to the sounds of inspiration. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Okiki Podcast. And today I have some very special guests. I have who I like to call my cousin-in-law, Justina Obayan. So she is Joshua's wife, and yeah, we've gotten very close. And I learned that she had this business with her business partner, Joshua, and they have ShorEbricks. So we're going to learn more about that today. But I'm really excited to do this episode because I get to feature not only Nigerian entrepreneurs, but young millennial Nigerian entrepreneurs. And I just think that's awesome to see what are millennials doing all over the world, right? So thank you both for being on the podcast today.
Welcome.
So let's get started. What was both of your, educational paths, and how did you cross paths and decide that doing a business was like a really good idea?
We both studied like same engineering, metallurgical material engineering, and by the time we came out, he was into construction and I was into facility. I've been in facility for a while. Then he was like, okay, why don't we even take this thing seriously? You take the project back on getting everything while I'll do the finishing on. And that's how shall we.
Sure, for sure. And thanks for bringing that in. And for those people who are in North America, what exactly does facility entail?
Facility has like different perspective and all aspects of how they call it. So it has to do more on the day-to-day activities of what happens in the house, like the plumbing, the electricity, the painting. You can go as far as painting. Anything that has to do with maintaining the house and keeping up the house, like a day-to-day activity. So
Awesome.
But if you're starting like a project, like a fresh project, starting from so the facility person already knows, okay, yeah, this is actually where we kept this. This is actually where the electrical parts leads to. So it's almost like the facility person knows plumbing part of like where if there's like any fault in the house, he knows exactly where it is. So you're not calling like an outsider to come and say, okay, can you help us trace this? Because the person was there from the beginning of the house.
Very cool field. So basically like end to end, they know exactly what's going on with the building project. And then you both met doing the same program or doing similar programs, or were you in the same class? How did that happen?
Okay.
Yeah.
We met in a program in university, University of Technology, Futa.
Awesome.
Myself and my brother came to the program with me. So we met, we were just friends, and fortunately we landed in the same department. So since then we've been very close friends. So we went through school. She did IT with Guinness, but you did IT with Nigeria Brewery, sorry. Yeah. So she had massive experience with facilities, ACs, plumbing. So me, I was posted to a place where I did construction. So I got into construction. So at the time, I left my job after a time because I wanted to go. So she also finished her own stuff, and she was doing facility from home. So I said, okay, it's better I will start a construction firm because I have the experience in on-site construction.
Right.
She has massive experience with managing facilities, knowing how to support and push a project. Like she has project management skills.
Yeah, for sure.
So when you combine those two together, you have like a firm construction company. So we started ShorEbricks.
That's amazing.
So we moved, initially we started with like a project just to test the waters. So we brought like evolved ideas from, personally me, I used to go online, look at what contemporary houses abroad, US, Canada, anywhere on Instagram. So shit to us. So we met a client, did a drawing for him. So we built our first home. So from the success of our first home, which was sold for like 210 million naira, that's usual maths in Nigeria. So we got other works, other luxury project in Royal Gardens. That should be one of the most luxurious houses within the estate.
Wow.
So she brought her expertise. We were able to like work for different people. From there, people started seeing what we can do. So started calling us to bring our ideas.
That's very cool. I feel like there's so many pieces in that I want to unravel. And one of the first is, so between working for a company and then launching ShorEbricks, how long was that before you decided, hey, let's go full-time into entrepreneurship? And what do you feel like was your biggest obstacle in like launching that company?
I served in a construction company and I was retained. I started working for them as an engineer. But there was no progress. It was not progressive. Like you were on a salary, but there was no promotion. You are consistently doing stuff that when you know you can do more. So we had a problem because they wanted to move me to a different state. And Lagos is where luxury is. If you leave Lagos in Nigeria, most especially, if you're not going to Abuja, the kind of construction we have in Lagos is different from wherever else.
Right.
I had to resign. The first year was not easy, I must confess. It was terrible. It was terrible. Because I had no job. And initially I was like trying to keep to myself,
Yeah.
Losing a job forcefully is not easy.
Yeah.
So the good thing is I have friends. She's like, she's my best friend. So I have support from parents, from like each time I want to like, I think go into a level where I was feeling so bad, she can always come with like, come on, look on the bright side. You can always get better and you're always going to get better. This is just like the beginning. So I started, I remember she sent me some preachings from a pastor. So I took it seriously.
Yeah.
Like, so speaking about, you become a king before you get to the throne.
Right.
That your mentality changes things for you. So I started looking at, okay, I'm capable of doing luxury homes. Which can bring our evolved ideas.
Yeah.
And give Nigeria like finishing. In Nigeria, the problem we lack finishing in Nigeria.
On housing projects.
Yeah. Few contractors can deliver a prime house in terms of finishing, but that's what ShorEbricks is into. We not only just deliver houses, we deliver homes. So our projects are clean, we take it seriously. From project supervising, when she comes in, she also helps with operations. And me, I have to consult on the project also. We bring people to come and like look at our project and say, okay, where do you think we can get better? So we're always evolving. From one luxury to another, combine drawings, designs, where we are right now. And, we are not where we want to be, but we're also moving.
Yeah. And I was very impressed when I saw the work too. One thing about my cousin-in-law is she's very modest. So we were watching something on YouTube. I believe it was a young lady who got a house in Bali, and all of a sudden she was talking about this company, and I was like, wait, you have a company? And when she was showing me the work, I saw the cleanness, I saw the execution. I think the standards were really high. So I was very impressed by that, impressed that you as young people were doing that. And so just to add on to it then, because of the circumstances, combining and going forward, what was the biggest challenge in launching your brand and getting that first client? Because I'm sure that first client was the hardest one. And like, what was the process in getting that client, convincing them this is what you're going to do, and even like, doing that project from start to finish in terms of just making sure that it really set off the tone that you wanted for your company?
I think it's like I'm starting with the client. Our first client.
Yeah, we could hear you because we have
you
the last question.
afraid.
Maybe your perspective first. Yeah.
Maybe.
You can say what you feel comfortable saying if there's some parts you can't say.
The first client, it was not easy. Right?
It was not easy.
How did I get it? When I worked in the company before, I met someone. So I saw him again after 2 years. So just like, he told me his friend wanted to go into developing properties. So I made a friend. He bought the land from us. He said he wants to build. He has not seen my work before. He only knew I worked for a company.
Right.
So we have to go through that hurdle of trying to convince somebody that we can do it. We took the work as we wanted to showcase our work. Like, we can do this. ShorEbricks can give you luxury, well-finished luxury. He took a chance on us. The financial package was not nice, I must confess.
So you kind of took a pay cut to do this?
A lot of it.
Okay, so that you can prove yourself.
Prove myself, okay, we can do it. So I spoke to her at that time that, okay, what do we do with this kind of, he said, okay, we need to put something out there so people will believe in us. And so we can actually do it.
Yeah.
So it was not easy. Financially, it was terrible. Let me sincere, it was terrible. She knows. We struggled financially to get it, but we still delivered the project in its prime state. Like, we delivered the project, but it was not a financially rewarding project, but we didn't care about that.
Yeah.
You knew the long term what it would do.
Okay, so we knew that if we were able to do this, people will see this and they'll refer us.
Right.
So because the truth is, good jobs, you get referrals from it. So fortunately for us, we did the job, and from the job, other people started seeing what we can do. So they started getting back to us. Okay, we want you to design something for us, because we mostly do design and build. So we have a team of builders, we have architects, we have so many people in the team. So we design, we build. So we got people that live abroad. We got like 2 clients stay abroad.
Yeah.
One is currently in Canada, the other one is in the UK. So they gave us the opportunity to help them build something in Nigeria. So it's not easy to be for people, Nigerians that live abroad.
Yeah.
There's
It's hard for them to find someone they can trust.
There's a lot of integrity issue.
Yeah.
So that's where we are different as a company. Because integrity is like our forefront. It's at the forefront of our organization. Like, you can trust us with your money. If we tell you we are giving you this, we are not giving you the lesser quality. So the first time was not easy.
It's not easy. What about your perspective? I see a lot of laughter, so I feel like there's a lot behind it.
She knows.
Yeah, we'd love to hear. And you don't have to say more than you feel comfortable, but even just your perspective on it from a facilities perspective. What did that feel like?
The way sometimes they feel like you're trying to extort from them. Well, this is just you being you, and you're not even. I just need the project to just come to an end. Okay, let's just finish this. Let's just prove to ourselves or maybe some other people out there that okay, yes, we can actually do it. This is actually like our first baby that we delivered. You get, but like you said, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at first.
So as a facility manager, you had to probably deal with that client more directly too.
I didn't deal with him because I wasn't directly on that project. I had I was on that, but that was our first. I think sometimes facility or construction, the whole real estate, will humble you in a kind of way, like it will test you
Emotionally.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And if you don't have patience,
You need a lot of
Yeah.
because
you probably just lose it at some point. That's just
you
because
probably need
you want to
therapy.
like
To do it well. No, that's a good one. No, let's talk about that.
no, I think you definitely
need
need
therapy. To work in construction in Nigeria, it takes emotional toll on you, whether you like it or not. Because a lot of clients are very entitled. They feel like when they send you money to do something, they've changed your entire destiny. No, seriously, that's a lot of Nigerian clients. Like that. So you need to practice emotional intelligence. If you don't have it, you cannot survive in construction in Nigeria.
Good point.
A lot of emotional. So when people say, now we have some other project coming up because of some things we've done. We have like 3-4 projects coming up together. And then people say we are lucky. We are really not lucky. We put in the effort to build the brand. Even before we started the company, we were already doing things behind behind the scenes. It took effort, consistency, integrity, which is one of the biggest factors in construction in Nigeria. Integrity. Like if you send us this money, we're not saying, oh, we're going to get you a lesser quality. So that's why we can build for people that stay abroad. So for someone that stays abroad in UK to invest over 300 million on a project,
they're expecting the best.
That means they trust you completely. And that project will deliver it. Same thing with the person in Canada. They trusted us because they saw what we did for the person in UK. So integrity and a lot of hard work. We come a long way, but we put in a lot of effort also. So we didn't just get here and say, okay, we're not doing like 4 projects once, luxury project. Oh, it was luck. No. We worked. We were emotionally intelligent. We pushed out integrity, and our work is impeccable.
And I want to add to that too, because you're also running a whole construction team. So it's one thing for you as the leaders to say, hey, this is the standard we want. This is the standard we want for clients. How do you actually get the people working under you to emulate and reflect that? Because sometimes, I don't know how else to say this, but construction can be a challenge no matter which country you're in. If you're in Canada, you can get some really funky construction workers. If you're in Nigeria, same thing. So I feel like that's one thing that is universal. And so I just wanted to ask, like, how do you ensure that your staff is like as high quality as you?
She does the equipment. I don't deal with it.
Yeah.
Because she has understanding. She knows people better than I do. So me, probably you just send me your CV. I'll just look at her. I'll see this person is good, but she knows how to read people better. So she does the recruitment.
So how does that work for you? What's going through your brain?
She speaks with them and.
What's going through your brain when you're?
At first, it was a big challenge because I'm like, I really don't know how to interview people or start asking people. And because we were starting out small, we didn't want to get like, we got like engineers, like graduates, more of IT.
Yeah.
So the time lapse between during their like they call it student internship. It's like a thing in Nigeria.
Oh yeah, I should definitely explain that too. So IT in Nigeria is kind of like the same thing as a summer grant, right? A student summer grant. So it's being covered by the government. Is that kind of how it works?
Kind of, but then some private firms also pay them directly. So
Awesome.
and they have like between like 3 to 6 months to learn all of that. So it was more of them than the main graduates, because we also pay. But we pay the IT as well. And you see people, like there was a particular person that we hired, and by the time he came, he actually didn't know anything about construction.
Really?
Like he was very clueless. And by the time he was done after 6 months, I felt really proud because you could see that he had grown. It wasn't based on, okay, this was what they taught us in school. This is actually how we like, he saw everything like practically. Like
he
progressed. You could see that there was a change. Like he went, okay, yes, I can beat my chin. Like I know
like, something about the industry.
I know about this project. Like he was involved in one. I think he almost saw through the end of the project, which was a beautiful thing. And the fact that you can impact that kind of knowledge to someone, and you see them not just academically, but also on character wise. Some of them had like you don't just talk anyhow to clients or to artisans. You get like they had to learn more that this is how you talk to people. You get this is how you talk to, like you don't talk to artisans not because they're working for you. You just talk to them anyhow.
Treat them well.
Yeah, treat them well. So when you're telling them, please help me check this thing, so that same problem where the person missed won't be an accident to another person. Like it was just a beautiful thing to just.
So it's sounding like the way your company helps the people who work for you to do it is that you kind of created this company culture. Because it's sounding like, I'm guessing with IT, with students on these government or corporate grants, there's a lot of turnover. So it's not like you had a chance to really be like, okay, person working for us, this is how things go. Like you really had to give them the company culture very quickly and really invest in them individually and tell them like this is how things work, this is how things go. So that's pretty impressive, and to do that in like 3 to 6 months. So basically you two created this company culture and it just influenced the people that are working for you to keep up with that quality that you're looking for. Did you ever have workers who were like, nah, like I want to do this, or this is who I worked with before, and they weren't this picky, so why are you guys bugging me?
I think we had one female trainee. Initially, she didn't like it. She was more like she wants to be on the it's stressful. Construction is stressful. Let's be sincere with ourselves. The sun, the hazards on site. So she was not caught up with that. But eventually, I think we were able to help her see why she needed to just at least understand the business and help her grow.
So you had challenging people work for you?
Yeah, especially there's a female trainee that came around. She was hesitant from the beginning, like she was not used to such stress. She went to this private school where soft life and everything. So we were able to convince her to just put in a little bit of effort. Because at the same time she wanted to good grades. So she later became better before she left. So 2 months ago, one of the students from our school called me and said the former student gave him my number because she was the best student in their defense.
Oh wow!
I was like, "Are you for real?"
So you encouraged her to like put more effort.
Said she was the best student in her defense in the whole of the class.
Wow!
So he had to go and meet her and say, "Okay, please give me the number of company. I want to IT there."
Wow.
So he came. He has already started. It was so like when he heard her speak about what she did on site, how she was participating in things and everything. Like they allowed her to do things on site.
Wow.
So it was like, oh no, he has to do his IT there.
Wow.
So he came. He's actually doing his IT with us now.
That's
that was
such a cool
a
story.
recommendation from someone that initially she was not up to it.
Wow.
But because of a lot of the way we handle staff, so she became better. She left in a good way. But regardless, she was able to refer to someone and say, okay, I did something in this company, and she didn't speak. She just did her defense. And the student saw it and said, like, no, these guys really did a lot for you.
Yeah.
So
I think that speaks very loudly of a company, though, like where it's not just your work speaking for you, but it's also the people behind the brand. And I think it's really cool that as you're building buildings, you're also building leaders, right? And I just think that's amazing. Again, that at your young age is that you're already bringing that, because I think if we know anything about anywhere, people need good leaders, and that's actually really hard to build. So I really commend you both on that, and that's just so exciting to hear. I was gonna say that, so you worked with the team, and then you started getting your clients because they're starting to see your work. And so I guess another question to ask you both is, how do you source materials to kind of keep the luxury look going? And where do you see this company going in the next, 5 years? Love to hear. I'd love to hear from both.
Okay, I'll start with the materials and trying to keep up the levels we began with. It's difficult to convince clients for their own good, but they don't always see it like that. Sometimes you meet a client that has high taste. It's good for you because it means your project is going to come out well. But there's some other client that have the money, but they don't know what luxury is. So you need to now convince them that what you do will benefit them in their projects on the long run. So we show them what we've done before, how beautiful it is. So I try to tell my client that this is what is involved right now. This is contemporary. This is some are stubborn, but eventually, because of what we've done before, that is good. They've seen it. So they can say, okay, please do that for me. So and again, luxury is not just about spending money. Luxury is about how you finish your house. Little details, the walls, the bathrooms, how you open your doors, the space, how people can move around your house. You must bring in the client's ideas, mesh it with the company's ideas, and have an evolved construction. Like it's about client being comfortable in their house. It's not always about us. But we need to always seek their opinion about, okay, what do you like? What do you want in this house? So if we take their opinions or the ideas as it may be, we evolve it. We give it more light. We make it more beautiful and hand it over to them. So it becomes like it's their own idea. So
but then you got to like bring it to
so most of them are like, okay. This is so we started this like in our project. We started these floated staircases.
Okay.
Abroad, in most houses, they do floated staircases with the wood and they put irons in the wall. So we did our own floated casted staircases. So it's part of this project that we did. It's like a brand signature. So our staircases are floated and it's casted also. It's concrete, pure concrete, so you can step on it. Beautiful. So we bring ideas like that, evolved ideas, we add it to it just to spice the whole construction. And we have different areas how we design our bathrooms. We add a little bit of luxury. So we advise on materials to use. If you want contemporary, we also have that. If you want extreme luxury,
we can go that way too.
But in between, you're going to have a beautiful home. Regardless, the quality never reduces. Yet the material might be different in terms of affordability, but the quality is the same. We have a level, and we'd rather not take a project if we know we cannot meet up with our level. We cannot give you the quality that the company represents. So we'd rather not take a project, because there are some projects that the client wants something in Dubai, but the budget is something like in Korodu. So they want
They're not being realistic.
They are not being realistic sometimes. That's why we have construction in Nigeria. Like somebody is charging you, let's say 20 million for something. Another person comes and says, I can do it for 10 million, and you're not afraid. No,
they're not considering,
maybe they feel like you're trying to rip them off.
Instead of seeing it as
but at the same time, they're still going to spend more money
in the long term.
So I tell the client, like, you want to do a stamp concrete. Okay, I know people that can do better stamp concrete for you. 10,000 per square meter. They say, no, somebody else is doing for 5. They
Yeah.
do it 6 months down the line, it's already cracking. You end up bringing another 3 million
Yeah.
to
Just
repair.
to fix it. Yeah.
Then after then, another 2 million in 2 years. So
Yeah.
you get sometimes
It's like
these are the
quality
things,
over quantity.
that's the
And
problem.
we do have a culture that we like to bargain. So I think it's kind of in the back end of our minds every time we're approaching deals or things.
Yeah,
But I think that quality versus quantity thing is also a very important conversation to have, especially for long-term projects like
true,
you're saying. Yeah, for sure.
we have a policy we try to maintain.
Mm-hmm.
Contemporary homes, luxury homes, minimalistic homes.
Mm-hmm.
There's the quality. Well, if your budget is not meeting us at
Mhm.
the quality we want to say,
Mhm.
we rather advise you to use someone else that can give you that quality that you want, because our work is like we showcase ourselves through
Yeah.
it, and we don't want anything that will damage our image.
Mm-hmm.
We've taken time, invested a lot of energy, time, and money and emotions into building the brand. So we don't want something somebody will say, who did that project? Like, is that ShorEbricks? No. So
Right.
our projects are like we have a level for it.
Yeah.
So the plan is to move into developing projects and in residential to sell, become developers. So we're gradually approaching.
To make your own kind of development.
Yeah,
where lots
build
of
and
people.
sell.
Yeah.
But the good part is we've already established that we can do it for Nigerians in diaspora,
Mm-hmm.
which is very important because we put forward quality and integrity, which is like our core values.
Mm-hmm.
Integrity, quality, and timely delivery of projects.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not going to tell you that your project will be 6 months when we know it's going to be 1 year.
You tell them.
We rather you know the truth,
Mm-hmm.
because any project that is less than a certain time, it probably is going to lack quality. So I'd rather tell you that your project is going to be a year,
Right.
rather than tell you that it's 6 months and then rush it and not follow due process.
Mm.
So we see ourselves, we're going to be huge players in the real estate industry in Nigeria and beyond. So because we've worked hard, we put in the hard work, and grace is also on our side,
Yes, for sure.
which is very important. Grace
It
is already
is.
on our side. Because
Definitely.
so this please.
Yeah.
I said everything.
But no, actually, I think that question, because I'm hearing it's kind of two different themes, because you're talking a lot, even though it's still in the core of what you do is the quality and integrity. But it sounds like you're also building, like, helping the team part too a lot. So I think even in the company culture, as you grow, right, as you grow Nigeria and like internationally, I'm sure you won't be able to manage every project by yourself by that point.
True.
How do you see yourself trying to reinforce those values to other managers so that you know the same things happening across the board?
For me as a person, aside to work and every other thing, each person I meet, I try to impact what you need to do good for humanity. So it's not like you're just in my life for a particular reason. I try to tell you, okay, you have to, what have you done to help humanity? What have you done to help society?
Right.
So I think grooming is, we call it our little family, our ShorEbricks family.
Yeah.
You might not be able to reach out to each and every person you work, but like by the time you start training like a particular person, okay, this is actually what you should do. This is actually you don't cheat, you don't like you're integrity, make sure that your integrity is intact. Like that person sells it to another person, it sells it. So it's almost like you're breeding a train, but you don't even know you're breeding a train. Get it? So I feel like if everyone is on the same like we all have the same mindset, okay, this is actually what we're supposed to do too. I'm not saying that we will still not make people who don't want to like really learn, but like the fact that you get to impact into like most of the students that I even work on, most of them had like they couldn't actually walk up to clients to say, because they feel like okay, they actually don't really know much. So what would they actually explain? But by the time they stayed like you stay inside, you're seeing what the workers are doing. So it's not like one person is doing something and the person just telling you, okay, this is actually what I saw this person do. So you actually know, okay, this is actually what the person mixed. If the person says okay, he took one cement to make this, you already know what the person took. So you're speaking up. You're not keeping quiet. Okay, like the person took, or you're trying to rip off.
You know exactly how.
Exactly. So it's almost like they don't know that they're being trained to
You know what's
another
happening.
aspect, yeah, but
Yeah.
they're actually being trained. And
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's the beautiful part of like each person as a leader. Like once you get into a place of authority on how to control people, like that's how it plays out for you.
So
Without you even knowing you're learning.
without learning. So leaders building more leaders, because I think, yeah, like as you're saying, as you're trying to grow and grow into different parts of the world, which I can definitely see with the quality of homes. Yeah, building that company is going to be so important too. I think that's a huge issue with brands, is like, how do you make sure every person in that company is representing the brand? So I'm really excited to see how you guys as a team build that up. And I was also going to ask too, what has been probably the most amazing and surprising experience you've had so far in running this company?
We've grown, that's the emotionally one. Financially, we're also grown because we're not accepting the standard we used to accept financially before. We started out, we wanted to just showcase ourselves, but we've done that already. So we're in the process of, okay, this is what we have worth, this is our quality. Can you afford it? Because we will not reduce our quality for you. So you have to meet us at this level. So because to successfully design and build house, two homes for two Nigerians in diaspora, it's not an easy feat. It's not an easy feat. It takes a lot of emotions and integrity to do that.
Yeah.
Luxury homes for that matter. So we've gone into that because they trust us. Like if something gets missing on site, no client can call us and say your guys stole this.
Right.
That's one thing we're going to build. Integrity, it is key. So you can't call us and say, oh. They rather say, okay, the security they put in place, probably you should not worry about that. So once that is established, every other thing, the quality of work, we're pushing it forward. And the funny part is, even in building the company, we were looking for building a website. Just my friend here, her husband was really a part of it. I came here and I told him I wanted some advice on how we can build our site and everything. So he called one of his other friends.
Yeah.
We spent like 2-3 hours.
Wow.
Just brainstorming on core values, what the company should be doing, like that. So we did all that in like 3 hours. He actually participated.
Wow.
He's actually my friend also now.
Yeah,
so, that's funny part. We are very close. So he supported us in that regard. Like
awesome.
he didn't say this is just something my wife's friend something.
Yeah.
He took time
to really get involved.
Get involved. Provided us with some very good lines, like the core values, TIQ, like transparency, integrity, and quality. That was his line actually.
Nice.
He said that, and so we've gotten impact from friends also, not just us. We learn from families. Our family is major support.
For sure.
Support, our husband, the husband, sister, and my own family too. Because whenever we're going through stress in the beginning, these are people that we fall back on. Like, okay, I can call my mom and say, see, there's a way a client spoke to me today, and I feel like I want to explode. She's like, just calm down, it pass. Then this one sent me a video of everything. There's a video she sent me of people saying time is our greatest ally. No matter what you are going through today, it will definitely pass. So each time I want to get annoyed, I just play that video and I was like, let's give it.
Maybe you should put it in the show notes. Some of the people watching this might need that.
like let's give it a week or two. And sincerely, no matter how temperamental some clients have been over the time, 2-3 weeks down the line,
they just chill out or it goes away, whatever the problem was.
Because whenever you meet arrogance with calmness, I found out that there's always a resolution in between. There's always a calmness. It always overshadows the arrogance. Over time, it works. So, but that patience to be calm when the emotional issues. So, I've learned personally. I've learned calmness. Obviously, just very calm. So,
very calm.
I learned a lot of calmness from her because whenever I want to react, I'm burst into tantrums. Like, please calm down. This is just work. Go and do something else. Calm down. Don't reply. So I learned emotional maturity over time. We're also learning how to better take care of our finances, and we're getting more clients now. So different. It is a difference because we've gone through the process of building ourselves. So I can say, okay, got a client, speak to Justina, speak to any person. So there's an openness about it. It's not going to, it's not like, oh, let's keep this one secret, don't talk, no. Everything's open. Because a client will see that everything you're telling him. So when you give a client a quote, say, please consult on it. Consult on it. But this is our price.
Right.
If you want quality, it doesn't come cheap. That's the truth. We're not
Especially
selling.
luxury.
We're not selling fish. What's the truth?
Yeah, this is not Babu.
Yeah. We're not in the market. It's construction.
Yeah.
It's something. It's a legacy.
Yeah.
Any home we build is a legacy.
Yeah,
it's somewhere you're going to spend like years in.
Yeah.
So you can't come to us and be talking to us like you want to buy something off the shelf or something. So we'll have a budget for you. Okay, this is what you want. If you want this kind of quality, this is what it is to take you to financially fund it.
Yeah.
And so if you know that you cannot fund it to that thing, because I have to mirror what you want with your budget.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people, as I said, people want things like they have this you see in Dubai.
Yeah.
But their budget is Kurudu financially.
Yeah.
So it becomes a problem when you cannot now give them that with their budget.
Yeah.
So they're not saying that, oh, ShorEbricks is not good enough. So we've gotten to a level now where we are not very selective.
Yeah.
So we do all homes, residential and everything, construction. But we're selective with the project we undertake as a company. So I say, okay, this is any project that will give us issues, that will reduce our quality, we can like say, okay, this is not good for us. So we have a quality that we need to always maintain at all times. So it's not even about clients; it's about us as a company. We have a standard.
How are you showing up in the world?
We have a standard. So that's why we can build for people abroad and they come and say, okay, take your key.
Yeah, for sure.
Moving.
Yeah. I wanted to say too, I guess, what is like a dream country, since you're thinking beyond Nigeria? What's like a dream location you think would be awesome to build a project there?
Banana is not bad.
Banana Island?
Like, no, in Nigeria, like, to do something banana is not bad. Like, it's like a massive luxury.
Or Echo Atlantic?
Echo Atlantic, I think that's industrial construction. Mostly.
Yeah. Okay.
But out of Nigeria, I think I like Dubai.
Dubai.
It's very, very, very classy houses.
So hopefully we see some.
Then Singapore. So Singapore is another place.
I love Singapore.
Lovely buildings.
Yeah,
just you can go there and learn. You know, add something. That's why we're always evolving ourselves in ShorEbricks. So we take ideas from other people, we add it to what we know.
Final question, I'll combine the two, but what would you tell a young person who's like, hey, I want to start a business that's going to be, high quality, high integrity? Like, where do I start? Especially if they're dealing with environments where that's challenging to do so. And then, secondly, what do you value the most about where you're both at today with the company?
Everyone says don't stop dreaming. I think that's like put your mind to it and trust that God will help you get through. It might just take a while, but you definitely get there. And sometimes it might seem like everything is falling apart. Just to get there. That's it. Then, what's the question?
Yeah, the second question is, what do you value the most about the position you're both in today after going through all you've gone through to get this company to where it is?
It's the growth for me to see like something like you dreamt about like coming to reality, and you're not just, that's not just helping you, but like you're helping others and helping other people achieve like their dream home. I think that's the most beautiful part.
Awesome. Yeah. No, that's great. Yeah.
I think the process, we went through a process of building ourselves first. You must not forget that, like in building a company, you have to also work on yourself. You have to work on your values, on your integrity, and then on your patience, please. I think the patience is even more important.
Yeah.
Because you're going to go through trying times. It's a must.
Yeah.
You're going to go through trying times, and so your ability to withstand those trying times is going to be how you come out at the other side. So if you're able to withstand your trying times and with good quality of like integrity, what you value most, patience, emotional intelligence. So if you add everything together, definitely come out of it. It is inevitable.
That's awesome.
It is in the and your mindset actually is part of it.
Yeah.
You can be doing well, but have a poor mindset. It will affect your business. It will affect anything you're doing.
Yeah.
So as I always said, I said, you become a king long before you get to the throne. So which means you must be trained consistently. You must be training yourself consistently before you become a sit on the throne.
I really like that quote. I think you guys will have to send me that video.
So because we've been going through a lot of building processes. Build ourselves, build the company, and give it a lot of image, kind of image that speaks transparency, integrity, and quality. So people can get into our DM and say, okay, I want to build something. I live abroad, but I want to build something at home. From the beginning to the end, you don't have issues. You don't have issues. So if there's changes in price, I'm going to come and meet you and say, okay, this is how it is.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard.
Yeah, though it's hard to meet them, but the integrity is there to say, okay, this is it. Do you want this now, or you still want to maintain this level? Because client changes their opinion about things. A client will tell you that I want marble. I want marble. Maybe in 4 months' time, he went somewhere and saw something else and said, okay,
I want that.
And the price difference is huge. So I'm going to get to your DM obviously and say, okay, this is it. This is the price of this. So, but we've built ourselves to get to that level where people can see how much will it cost to build this. How much do you need? Do you need 300 million to achieve this? Do you need 400 million? Because we are able to undo big projects, for clients in the diaspora. So it's not a big deal for us anymore. It's a young company, but over time we've proven ourselves locally and to international clients. Yeah, which is key.
That's awesome. I have to say, this was really fun for me. It was so cool picking their brains and just see the process. And I'm just so excited that you're on my podcast today. Very proud of both of you and your company and the culture you've built, which I think is almost, if not more valuable than the buildings you're actually building. And I'm so excited for the future for ShorEbricks. So thank you for being on the podcast today.
Welcome. Thank you.
And also, where can the audience find you guys?
So we're on IG, we have a website on ShorEbricks, that's our IG handle. Then we have a website, ShorEbricks.com, www.shorbricks.com. We're on Twitter, we're on LinkedIn, just ShorEbricks anyway, you get it on social media.
Awesome. So if you are abroad and you are looking to build homes, you definitely message these two, and they've got you for sure. So thanks for tuning in. I also would like to introduce today the Okiki Video Bootcamp. Yes, I will be launching a course, which I will have a wait list in the show notes. And I will be launching some group coaching as well. I know there has been a lot of requests lately of people wanting to learn how can they create content for their own brands. And so I'm looking forward to bringing you along on the journey with that. If that's something that you've wanted to gain skills and techniques on, this will be for you. You'll learn systems on how to create content effectively and efficiently and have more time for yourself in the process while reaching your clients. Again, you can find the information for the Okiki Video Bootcamp in the show notes below.